Trusted Profits, it's the formula here, and Virginia is for lovers. Lovers of the Kentucky Derby and all the prep races that lead up to it. At least this one here at the Colonial Downs that we are gearing towards on this Saturday coming up, March 15th. That's right. The Virginia Derby. It's the first one. That's right. We're not showing any history here. You get nothing in like it because that's what there is. Can't compare any times. Can't tell you any famous horses that have won here, maybe come in second or third. You get nothing like it. We're moving straight on to what's happening this Saturday. So this video should be a little bit shorter. I'm vamping less, although I'm vamping now. How about that? Self-referential. It is a listed stakes race, 500K at Colonial Downs. It is 9 furlongs. That is 1 1/8 mile on dirt. And as Sean Patrick Nolan wanted me to know, this is a race that is going to be a one-turn 9 furlong race. So take that in consideration if that does anything for your handicapping. Keep it under your hat. Just consider that going forward here. I've got some intriguing horses entered in here. This is a better race than I expected when I heard of the inauguration for this race here. And I love the fact that it is going 9 furlongs because at this point, I want to stop seeing a mile. I want to stop seeing even 8.5 furlongs. Let's bump it up here and see how long these horses can go, right? Anyway, moving on. Let's look at the first one. It is calling card. 6 races, a win, a second, a third. Last time out, oh yeah, one thing to note here, this is the 7th different jockey for this horse. This is a horse that maybe when it was around race 3, race 4, Riders Up Tim and I both liked this horse. I think it was Riders Up Tim. Anyway, I like this horse, but there's definitely been a drop off since, making a lot of switches here. Luan Machado's number 7. Last time out at the Gotham, 13 lengths behind Flood Zone in that one. Nothing else memorable to point out. Just didn't seem to get it going at all. Before that, 8 at the Lecomte, starting out 6 lengths, back off the pace, pretty much finishing 6 lengths behind Disco Time there. Before that, got the 3rd place and an allowance optional claimer, 3 lengths behind. The pace moving up to 3rd, but still losing by 7 lengths there to Sandman. Losing to some good horses, obviously, but gotta see him stick up there, get a piece at least, and haven't seen that a whole lot from calling card. So I'm done. I'm kind of done with him, even though I like the Bob Blah Blah graphic we got here. John Hancock. This is a horse I'm definitely not done with. 2 and 2. 2 out of 2 wins in 2 races. Winner of the Sam F. Davis, setting the pace and warding off challenger Owen Almighty, who we just saw win the Tampa Bay Derby for a half-length win, running a 142.27. Owen Almighty pretty much replicated that. He got a 142.30 at the Tampa Bay Derby this past weekend. So putting up some pretty impressive times. These are the times that you would hope to see from these horses at this point. Winner of his first race, a 53K maiden special at Tampa Bay Downs, going 6 furlongs in a Gates Wire win, 3 lengths over Madhouse, dropping a 109.45 there. This is one of 2 Brad Cox horses. And to note here, Mike Smith, jockey change here. I believe Flavian Pratt was on this horse before, or maybe it was Irad, but this is a jockey change here for John Hancock, which is a bit curious. Horse I was definitely favoring going into this race, but that does scare me a little bit. American Promise, Dwayne Lucas, coach. 8 races, 1 win, 1 second, 1 third. 5th at the Risen Star, starting out 4 to 5 lengths off the pace, starting to advance, but really lacked the punch down the stretch. Magnitude stretched it out there for a 13-length win. 7th at the Southwest, moved up to 2nd place by the half mile and the 3/4 mile there, but then faded back to 6th and was DQ'd down to 7th, and still 6 lengths behind Speed King in that one. Justify and Tap It Bloodlines, that's something I've kept on this slide here for a while because that is pretty intriguing there. But still, you'd hope to have seen something a little bit more. The Risen Star showing a little bit more promise there, but got to see much more. 13 lengths behind Magnitude isn't cutting it. Omaha. This is the Audible Sire, not Omaha Beach. Just want to throw that out there for all of you. Deep closer. 2 wins, 1 second, 2 thirds lifetime. Pretty darn solid stats there. third at the Withers. That was his last time out there, starting off 9 lengths off the pace in that one, made it up to third, but still was 9 lengths behind Captain Cook there. Just enough to pass the rubble, but not get close enough to the winner there. Looked much better, in my opinion, at the Jerome Stakes. Second by 3.5 lengths there. Starting off 10 lengths back. Did a lot of closing on that one. Closed down the stretch to make it up to 5 lengths on Cyclone to make up 5 lengths on Cyclone State. Was 8.5 back, ended up being 3.5 by the finish. 8.5 back at the stretch. If you guys do the math on that, when he made up 5 lengths in the stretch, I thought that was a pretty impressive close, even though you only got second out of it. Before that, won an allowance optional claimer, did a lot of running in Delaware before the Laurel Park race. But again, deep closer, like what I've seen so far in some of the stakes races. They aren't the highest level, but again, this is the Virginia Derby too. It's also not Louisiana Derby yet. Studley do right, 3 wins in 9 races, but lately has fallen off a little bit, having trouble getting in that top 3. So 5th at the Battaglia, starting out in 7th, 5 lengths back, moving up to 5th, but losing by 10 lengths in that one to California Burrito. So even though he made up a little bit of ground there, places wise, lost a bit of ground there, lengths wise. 4th at the Jerome. Started off a little bit closer to the pace there, falling back, gaining only enough to lose by 6 and a 3/4 lengths to Cyclone State in that one. Again, a 4th place finish. 4th place finish before that at the Remsen in a 6-horse race, sitting close to the pace, bumped down the stretch, but did not seem to have it. 6 lengths behind Poster in that one. Did win the Nashua, but that seems like an eternity ago. Second at Laurel Futurity, but again, that was even more than an eternity ago. So where does Studley do right now? I mean, would it surprise me if he finished 5th in this race? No, that seems where he's trending. Getaway car. So here we go. Bob Baffert is shipping. He's got Irad Ortiz. This is setting up very nicely for Getaway car, who's definitely trending upward. I would say in terms of Bob Baffert horses, he's probably my 2A or 2B behind Citizen Bull, and maybe tied with Barnes right now. Some of you will take umbrage with that and say, no, 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 Barnes. But, we'll see. We got to see a real boss race from Barnes before we start anointing him the king. Getaway car had a fairly boss race at Sunland Park. At the Sunland Derby, nearly going gate to wire in that one, but was getting into a bit of a duel with Caldera and ended up beating him by a nose, dropping a 142.64. Pretty solid time. Definitely like seeing the sub 143. Want to see one of these horses get to a 141, but haven't seen it yet. Second at the Los Alamitos Futurity, setting the pace in that one. So this is a horse that is very pace conscious. Definitely getting overtaken, though, by journalism for losing down the stretch by 3.5 lengths in that one. 4th at the BC Juvenile. I always forget this horse was in the BC Juvenile and also finished 4th. Almost was the trifecta for Baffert in that one. Starting off 2 to 3 lengths off the pace set by Citizen Bull, who was really getting no challenge at all. Ended up settling for a 5-length defeat in that one. Second at the American Pharaoh, again, Citizen Bull. And then if we're going way back, Del Mar Futurity lost to Gaming in that one. Gaming, who has since dropped off the radar a little bit. Some thought Gaming was going to be in this race, but I don't know. I haven't seen as much from him yet. I've seen a lot more from Getaway Car. The horse is definitely trending upward. Rapture. Yes. What is my picture on the left? These are raptors being raptured. Yes. I had to practice saying that a few times before we go into this video. Two races, 1 win, 1 second place finish. Just broke his maiden last time out in his second race, going 8.5 furlongs in that one. A maiden special, 110K at Oak Lawn, stalking the pace set by Lord Baronoff, and beating Ripped by 6.5 lengths in that one. Have a nice little distance there, but was a 146 time, so not exactly an impressive time. Flavian Pratt gets them out here for Brad Cox. Again, very curious that Flavian is on Rapture and not on John Hancock. What is Brad Cox thinking here? Maybe there's something he knows about Rapture. I didn't see it in the last race, in my opinion. It's maiden special. Now he's bumping all the way up to this race. But maybe he's just giving the horse the best chance possible. Maybe he trusts enough in John Hancock to say, I mean, nothing against Mike Smith. but this is Flavian Pratt. This is the best jockey in the US right now. Is interesting to see him get this mount and not the John Hancock mount. Authentic Gallop, 2 wins in 7 races, winner of a 130K, not $130, 8.5 furlong allowance optional claimer at Oaklawn, settling behind the pace early, facing some challenging horses down the stretch, battling down the stretch, getting the win over McDude by a head in that one. Before that, less impressive, a 3rd place finish, going 8.5 furlongs at Fairgrounds, settling in at a slow pace, setting the pace at a slow pace, like a 50-second 4 furlong, getting overtaken at the top of the stretch by Lord Admiral and losing to him by 5 lengths. Um, yeah, not a whole lot to say here about Authentic Gallop. Render Judgment. This was another one early on that I was curious to see more of and just haven't yet. In the races he's been in, definitely has been weaker than expected. Thought this was going to be maybe a deep closer down the stretch, but hey, here we are. 5 races, 1 win, 1/3, 1 second, in any order you like. 8th at the Risen Star, bumped early, never really a factor, losing by 19 lengths to Magnitude. Did get 3rd at the Gun Runner, starting off 2 lengths off the lead, but falling back 9 lengths off of Built. So 3rd, but also 9 lengths off. So not super impressive. The Kentucky Jockey Club was 5th there, starting off 5 lengths off the lead, but finished 8 back of First Resort. So starting a little bit further back, but other horses being way more impressive down the stretch. So going to have to see something new from Render Judgment here. And finally, Georgia Magic. Instatoss. Need to get a drop for that. 1 win in 3 races, 4th and a 6 furlong allowance optional claimer at Aqueduct. Bumped early. Still able to stalk the pace, but fading by the time it got to the stretch to lose by 8 lengths to T-Craft. Why we entered into this race if that was your last race? I don't know. 6th at the Jerome Stakes, bumping Omaha early. I think Omaha took more of the brunt of that. Settled in at 6, but then kept fading back eventually for a 26 length loss. That was the biggest race Georgia Magic has had up to this point, and to me, that's not cutting it. Good Magic, the sire. Maybe there's something more here, but we got to see it. I think that is the last one I had before we get to the end here. So here we go. Safe pick. I like the horse John Hancock a little bit more than Getaway Car. It is tight though. I think those two are going to get into a bit of a speed battle here. Maybe Rapture joins them. I don't know, but those are the two that I see battling it early. And yeah, this could be another race like we saw at Sunland. If I'm going to give you a value pick, I really do like the value you get out of Omaha. Omaha, I think in the morning line, it was targeting about 10-1 on Omaha. And this is one, like I said, if we get too much speed early on, and Bob Baffert horses sometimes get too much speed, deep closer. He's done it before. He's definitely shown a lot of deep closing promise here. I think this is the best one in this race. So 10-1, I think you get extreme value there, even if it doesn't turn into a burner of a speed battle. I think Omaha can just grab a piece at the end there, like he did at the Jerome, right? And get a 3rd place finish or something like that and give you a little bit of extra value. If we're going to go in order here, John Hancock, Getaway Car. As I said, I think between the two of them, it's almost a coin toss, but I do favor John Hancock a little bit more, even though Flavian Pratt is on Rapture. But then that's the reason I've got Rapture underneath. I think, Brad Cox probably knows something there. You're giving a nod to the jockey and the trainer, as well as, hey, this horse looks like it's showing a little bit of promise here. And then Omaha rounds out my top 4. So that's what I've got for the Virginia Derby. What do you guys have? Thank you for joining as always. Thank you for your comments. Let me know what you think in the comments section. And as always, if you are going to gamble, please do so responsibly. We don't want to break anyone out there. Have a good day.